Just like auto start, just like that. Man, come on, YouTube. You gotta dropping the ball here. Just saying, man. I mean, whew, putting me on the spot. So, alright, so yeah, usually they have like a go live button, and I realize that's not here. So y'all dropping the ball on this one without much of a like. Oh yeah, by the way, we changed this real quick. Ready, set, go. Ah, jeez. And I wanted to start this about 20 minutes ago. Sadly enough, because of a couple of things just happening, I was definitely going to. First of all, this is like Thursday, Wednesday. Let's see. Like 4 days late. And earlier today, I was kind of debating whether or not I should even do a video now, if I should just wait until next week. And I remember my 20 goal is to be able to do at least 40 videos by the end of the month, well, end of the year. And as you see over here, I'm in week 34. Last video, I did some math actually between now and last video. It's been a couple weeks, first of all. And second of all, I think I might have just been doing the numbers wrong, but it's straightened out now. We're in week 34 right now of 50 some weeks of the month. So there's that, you know, haha. I'm trying to, I also have the record button, and I need to kind of shut down some of these other programs. I am trying to rush many things. First of all, I have my visitation in about 30 minutes. And usually I am trying to prep and certain things. And I wanted to do this early. I wanted to do this at 5. But there's a lot of problems with my computer that I really couldn't figure out how to solve. So I'm currently working through all of that crap. Also making notes on things that I wanted to talk about and everything else like that. But rather than talk about all that stuff and not get to the meat of it, I'm gonna try to get to the meat of it, like right now. And I'm stalling. I'm definitely stalling right now. But I'm trying to get to the meat of it. So yeah. Well, one of the things I actually did want to talk about is I wanted to do this video Monday. Monday I was preoccupied, very busy. And then Tuesday something happened. Because of some things I'm not gonna get into, but some complications, I was not able to see my son on Tuesday. And I point out, not fault of my own. Things happen, life happens. I totally get that. I totally understand that life happens. However, I am not a fan of finding out that life happens. I don't like being the last one to know. And sadly enough, it's starting to seem like, okay, well, we're just gonna let him know last. And I'm sitting here 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock for half an hour visitation that starts at 7, and I don't find out what's happening until 8:30. And it's like, adults, you know, adults, they communicate, let each other know what's going on. Children, on the other hand, do not. Just gonna say it like that. And that's probably gonna get me in trouble by itself. It just frustrates me. It frustrates me because if it was the other way around, if something would have come up, I'm like, okay, well, something came up. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you be one of the first few people to know. Otherwise, it just looks shady. Otherwise, it just looks questionable. And it kind of looks like, okay, well, they either forgot it, they didn't want to do it, and they're making excuses later. And I'm not saying that is what happened. What I am saying is that I am frustrated because not last week, but the week before, I didn't get to see my son at all that week. And just this past Tuesday, once again, another no-show. And it was the same situation where something happened. I was not aware of, I was not informed. Not even aware. I was not informed that something had happened until after. Like, if I'm glad I'm the kind of dad that's like, okay, like, you know, what's going on? Where other people are like, oh, the show, I guess I get to do something else. Like I reserve this time the 7 o'clock slot for him. So whenever it doesn't happen, it's kind of like, okay, why didn't that happen? How can we prevent that from happening in the future? So hopefully today happens to be a better outcome. I'm crossing my fingers, and I'm hoping, because if it's one of those, something came up and I'm the last one to know, and if I get informed at like 8:30 about a 7 o'clock like appointment that was missed. Okay. Let's hope for the best. All right. Let's just hope for the best. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to rush through this so that I still have time, because me and my son have been working on learning certain words in sign language. Thanks to Bunny and her family, I learned granted, that's just the first letter of my name. It was just like my name is Nick, and being for Nick. Granted, I can try to spell it out, but since me and him are already close, if I go this, you automatically should know. And I explained to him, like, since you know this is what my name begins with, we're gonna start with that, and your name, would be this. So you'd be like, and we did that back and forth. What was it? Last Thursday, did that whole sign language thing. I think today I want to learn another phrase. We've been trying to work on the alphabet. I kind of want to evolve a little bit beyond the alphabet, even though we still have to kind of take care of the other half of the alphabet. Like, we know virtually A through M, but I kind of want to do whole phrases, because I realize phrases can be categorized as, like, with hand signals. So I want to try to do that on top of kind of finish out the rest of the alphabet. Not today. We're not going to finish out the entire alphabet today, but at the same time, I do want to get through to that. But I was really upset Tuesday. A lot of things were happening on Tuesday. Not things that weren't going according to my plans per se, but granted, missing, like, not being the whole no-show on Tuesday kind of was the cherry on top to a very crappy day. And I was like, I just need out. So luckily Bunny was like, yo, come over, hang out. Actually, no, that's not exactly what happened. So I just came over. I just went over, and I'm like, yo, I'm here for a little bit. And we spent, it was me, Bunny, and Princess spent Tuesday night. Like, I canceled all my other appointments. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, and this morning. I came home this morning because I had another meeting. I thought I had 2 meetings, but I ended up only having 1. But it was a nice kind of calm down. Kind of for me to, like, regroup and kind of not be so angry at the world. But I felt guilty. A little bit, like, halfway through Wednesday, I felt super guilty. I felt guilty because I'm spending I'm spending more time with Princess. I'm spending more time with Bunny. And I'm missing out time with my son. It made me feel horrible. Like I'm a bad dad. And it's not like I don't want to spend time. I do. Oh, do I want to spend more time with my son? But a lot of things are in the way of that right now. Not pointing any names, not pointing out anything in particular. Just saying that there's a lot of things kind of getting in the way of that. So I don't know. I feel a little bit guilty, and it's not a bad thing that I'm spending time with Princess. It's not a bad thing that I'm spending time with my girlfriend's daughter. I just wish that I could spend more time with my own son. That things weren't always in the way. That I don't have to jump through so many hoops. Things that remind me, things that keep me positive. Superman symbol, me and my son share, and another necklace. What else? Another thing I want to point out is that, and then I noticed this with a lot of other dads that I talk to, and my own fear is that hold on is that the title of dad, especially when it comes to, okay, I feel better. The title of dad, granted, going to break up, things are always rough, always going to be rough. And I understand that, I get that, and I understand that when there is a new boyfriend, such current position of where I'm at, I don't want, and I even told Princess this, like, I'm not trying to overshadow your dad. Your dad is always going to be your dad. That's never going to change, and I'm going to give him the benefit of a doubt that he's a dad, that he tried, and to my observation, he's trying. There are a lot of dads that I've seen out there that couldn't care less and just walk out and like, I'm going to live my own life. So I didn't get a chance to do this when I was younger. I've seen parents do that, not just dads, but also moms who walked out or who were not able to. Who were like, okay, this is too hard, I'm bouncing. Matter of fact, it wasn't last week, it was the week before. While I was waiting to see my son, during the time that we were supposed to have our session, I was watching a video of Will Smith and his wife Jada Smith, because I can't pronounce her hyphen name properly, and it was talking about fatherhood. And Will Smith's first marriage didn't work out well, so there's a separation, and he was given the advice of just fall back and wait till he's old enough to come to you. And someone gave me that same advice. Whenever the separation between me and my son's mom happened, this one particular advice was given to me, and it infuriated me tremendously. The idea of like, all right, just fall back, just do you for a minute. Whenever he turns 18, he'll get me. Well, 13, whatever, he'll make that choice. I'm like, okay, I can respect that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to wait and miss out on that. And if I did, I wouldn't be having these visitations right now. And I'm not downplaying anybody else who made that choice. But for me and my son, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that. I didn't want to do that at all. Which is one of the reasons why I like the whole idea of like, oh, just wait until he gets older. I'm like, I miss out on that. I miss out on that. If you wait on things, then you miss out on things, period. That's just how I feel. So, I don't want to miss out on my son at all. And now down with Bunny and her daughter, I am enjoying that time, but at the same time feeling guilty that like I don't have my son with me to make this a whole thing, to make this full. And I'm sure it's going to happen eventually. Especially with his mother entertaining the thought of supervised visits. Now, granted, when we go in front of a judge, when I bring it up to him, the judge is going to be like, I don't know why you're not just getting visits, period. But if you want to go through the steps, and there's reasons why I'm going through the steps. I think I talked about it last video. The idea that I want the transition to not be fast, like traumatically fast. I don't want it to be such a drastic change because my son is like, it's a young child's mind, first of all. And I don't want to have it be too much for him too quickly. I do want to kind of ease him to the process, back into the process. Because like, keep in mind, I was his father, like physically, always with him for like the first 2 years of his life. They all was part of his life. So to kind of have me taken away was obviously rough enough, and then just to throw me back in. I want the transition to be a little bit more gradual. Now, I can't fix everything. I can't. But if I have the ability to do better, then I will try my damnedest. I'll give it not just a college try, but my all for him. So yeah. Luckily, talking to Bunny about this helped out too. Being able to say, okay, like I do feel guilty, but not because I feel like I'm doing a bad thing, but because I want to do more. I can't, and it sucks. So yeah, there's that. In other news, I've been watching season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. And there are two things that had been very prominent on my mind since Monday night. It was the last time I watched an episode of the Umbrella Academy. One, one's going to take longer than the other, and I don't want the other one to overshadow I don't want one to overshadow the other. So I'm going to talk about the one that I kind of don't want to overshadow everything else. And then I'm going to talk about the thing that's more personal to me. Let's go down. Okay, so seeing in season 2 of the Umbrella Academy, it takes place in 1960. Now, for those who do not know, people with my skin tone were not like the pawn very much in the 1960s, and it's very hard for me to watch that. It's very hard for me to see. And keep in mind, they toned it down. I know they toned it down, so it could be TV watchable, so it wouldn't be too traumatic. So it would be respecting the time at the same time, not, because I'm pretty sure the actors themselves, some of them might be like, all right, this is just a character that I'm playing. I don't really feel this way. But at the same time, to even play a character who is playing the time of 1960s where race was a huge thing, that I can imagine that being hard for a lot of people. And it's extremely hard for me. And there's a scene where they're trying to organize a sit-in. Peaceful sit-in is not supposed to be violent. From the sit-in point of view, they're like, do not punch nobody, do not say nothing disrespectful, make it peaceful. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, for them to do this, knowing that they're gonna be spit on, beat on by police, by standby, but just everybody, to know that your life is in danger because you want to go eat at a restaurant and you don't think that you should be turned down because of something you can't change. No shoes, no service, that makes sense. No mask, that makes sense, because you can, I'm gonna put on a mask when I walk in. The 5 minutes I'm in here, sure. I need shoes, shirt, service, sure. Let me put that stuff on. But it's kind of like, because you're black or because you're white, you can't be here. That to me sounds ridiculous. That's something you can't change. That's something you can't improve on. That's something is ludicrous to me. So watching all that was very hard for me. And it kind of brought me back to the idea of what's all happening now with the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm going to try not to talk too much about that exactly. But to me, Black Lives Matter is, or at least started off as a good movement. As a movement to make people aware that even though all lives should matter, to certain people, not all lives matter. So, with the protests turning into riots, because people tend to be violent, people are emotional, people jump to conclusions, and people just gravitate towards anger. And keep in mind, the sit-in took months to prepare, where some of these protests took days, if not hours. Let's just meet here and see what happens. And I'm not saying that's how it went down, but I'm saying in comparison to the peaceful sit-ins that became violent, but not because of the protesters, but because of the agitators. And even, if the sit-ins were to happen now, it would be reported that, the protesters got violent, they started to destroy the diners, this, that, and whatever. I wish that the protests were all peaceful. That they were instructed, do not agitate, do not push buttons, say our minds, say our piece, say what we want to achieve here. Rather than, and then to be able to separate the looters and the rioters and the people who are willing to be violent and hostile from the people who want peaceful change. I was playing this game called Detroit Become Human about androids. I know. Completely different apples and hamburgers, I guess. Comparison. But in Detroit Become Human, there's a part of the game where you get to choose whether or not you want to go in there guns blazing or you want to have a peaceful protest. Me at the time and it wasn't a protest. It's like, all right, get our people out of these concentration camps. And I'm like, okay, well, they're go there peacefully is just gonna mean that they're gonna just take us like, oh yeah, come into the concentration camp and see how it is, and we'll all go behind you. So my mind during the first playthrough was like, okay, go there, guns blazing, and forcefully take them out. And as I'm playing it, I'm seeing the death, I'm seeing the violence, I'm seeing that even though through my own skill I was able to achieve getting them out, which started the movement in that game. The game was also not prominent, but like it also showcased that like this shouldn't have been the way that we started, that we wanted this peace, this revolution, this movement to happen. The idea that violence only creates more violence, and just the path of violence just creates more violence. Sorry, my alarm's going off saying I really need to wrap this up. And that even though the ends almost seems to justify the means, it doesn't feel, when I was playing the game, it didn't feel like that was the right way of doing things. Which in turn ruined the movement. And it might be, for me, I'm not saying that it is the demographic of where I'm currently living at, or the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram posts that I see, which is not media government driven, but people driven. Keep that in mind. And the anger and the hate and how it gets fueled by itself, and the people fall into that cycle of anger and frustration, and which is understandable. But like, if you want true movement that I've seen in the past, it has to be peaceful. I just wish that things were not as violent. And I wish I didn't feel, I don't know, isolated. Not isolated, that's not the right word. I wish I didn't feel that the people who I am close to, and like, not talking about Bunny, not talking about anybody in particular at all. Not talking about family members, friends, whatever, but like some of the people who some of the posts I see, maybe kind of go, okay, well, what are you trying to achieve here? Because it's just posts. You're not really adding any kind of personal tidbit about it. When I try to post, I'm like, okay, this is what I think about it, and this is the post of where that idea comes from. A lot of posts I just see is just posts, and make me kind of go like, okay, I would like to start a conversation about that, but I don't want it to be turned negative, because they might be the one to turn hostile. Like, okay, well, are you attacking me? Like, that's not my intention. I'm sorry. And I don't want things to escalate. So a lot of times I just kind of fall back and like, okay, well then maybe these are just, this is just how people are, whether they're close to me or not. And I wish I knew how to better conversate, but I'm not the conversation type. I'm not the kind of guy to have conversations like that, especially. I'm more of I am the physical guy. I'm the guy to move things. I'm the guy to do things. If something needs to be moved, done, if action needs to be taken, I'm that guy that you come to, like, hey, we need this taken care of. And it sucks that like the people, like, I don't know. Some people are just like, oh yeah, all lives matter. I'm like, yeah, but understand that if all lives matter, then why don't Black lives matter? And just because some Black people or Hispanic people or Asian people happen to be bad or do bad things doesn't mean that their lives don't matter. It doesn't mean that they should just be automatically executed for that, when there are other people of other demographics who are like, oh, it's okay. Just fine. Just say you're sorry and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I've just never been a fan of that. But that just has been on my mind for a while. That's all. And I'm gonna cut it short on that, because I don't want the entire conversation to be about that. Another thing about the Umbrella Academy that really got me thinking was number 5. There is a character by the name of number 5 who's older than what he seems, because he's a time traveler. When he comes back into time, his body regenerated into like a younger state of himself. But he acts like somebody who's in his late 30s or early 40s. Somebody who's gritted, a veteran, who's kind of like, whatever it takes to get the job done. Most people probably classify him as an asshole, but number 5 is the kind of guy like, he would do whatever it takes to get it done. And that used to be me. Even though it might be a slightly manipulative, slightly cold, it was kind of the person who I was. And then I met my son's mom, and then things changed. When you have a kid, that changes. When you have somebody that cares, you aren't as cold and as manipulative. But me seeing 5 then, like seeing 5, it was one of those realization moments that that's what I used to be. And I was happy being that way at the time because of the work that I did then. I wish. There are times I do wish I was back to being that guy. That guy that would step on people to get the job done, to do whatever it takes to get the job finished, the task finished. Focused, single-minded, arrow. It worked out for me back then. But then there was another part of me that's like, well, if you were like that, would that be good for your son? Would that be good for Bunny and Princess? Would that be good for the people around you that you do care about, regardless of how they are? I don't know, but I do know if the past me saw me now, he'd probably spit on me. Man, alright, yeah. I gotta wrap this up. I'm sorry. It meant to be a lot more intuitive, I guess. It's still nothing yet. Okay. I haven't heard from my son's mom yet. And I definitely want to. But I don't know, just and that's a little bit of that is kind of like bugging me too. The idea of if I was that guy now, would that guy be able to have seen his son already? The fact that I am trying to do things the right way, is that slowing down my progress? Is that preventing me from getting the things that I want done? From people seeing me how I need them to see me as? People are only as good as their worst quality. And maybe, I don't know, maybe the way I am now is not going to cut it. I don't know. Just more for me to think about later. Scroll down. So I'm helping Michael reconnect with his creative side, and he's helping me too because it's something that I kind of want to do because of Bunny. And where? There you go. And so, but I don't want to lose control. I don't want to hand it over to another persona who might not want to hand it back to me. So twice in the past 2 weeks, I have worked on being able to find ways to switch without switching, or switch controllably, or switch in a way that like a dialogue can happen, an understanding. Last week it was with James. Bunny wanted to talk to James. That was interesting. Granted, because of the way I did it, I wasn't there, but I trusted Bunny to be able to inform me of the whole thing that happened, and she did a great job of that. But with Michael, it's slightly different because Michael is a lot stronger than me. If he didn't want to hand it back, he wouldn't have, but he's also the hero of Hanig. So I was like, hey, do you want to help me learn how to draw? And I swear to goodness, it's like, ever see a child's face light up like Christmas? That was his face, and then he virtually jumped around the room for like a good half an hour before he was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that. So this is Bunny. This is me trying to do Bunny with Michael's hand. Like, kind of like using his hand over mine to try to do that from memory. And this is Bunny in person. Same procedure and whatnot. It seems like my mind isn't exactly in tune yet to be able to picture people properly, which sucks because I'm able to identify people the way that police officers would want me to identify. Do you know what the man looked like? Yeah, he was about 5'2", Caucasian, brown hair, blue, brown eyes. He had a facial goatee. You know, I'm able to, he had a mark on the side of his head, looked like a birthmark. He weighed about 210, 220. Like, I'm able to do that, but I'm not able to put the thought into paper. But Michael can do that a lot better. So, we're gonna try working on that, and hopefully that works out well. Kind of like a give and take, because of me wanting to be primary so much, I definitely do try not to share that kind of time. But being able to incorporate certain skill sets might allow outliners to not be a thing. If you don't know what outliners are, educate yourself, Google it. Because I'm running out of time. My brother Tyler's birthday is next Friday. I already got him a gift, and I can show you without having to worry about it. It's this, because he don't look at my YouTube or anything, but I got him a gift card. Why? You'd be like, oh, that's cheap. Like, no. He's a gamer. He's a gamer, and as much as I would want to just get him a game, you get DLC with this. Mainly that. And he's been talking a lot, like we've been playing a lot of Code Vein lately. Matter of fact, I left Tuesday, and when I was leaving, I was like, yo, man, you want to game up? Because I know that he kind of wants to bond like that. I'm like, yo, man, I'm sorry, I'm about to bounce out of here. He's like, okay, well, maybe tomorrow. And I felt bad that I stayed an extra day, because things happen. I'm not going to go into detail about what happened. Things happen, and I end up spending an extra day down at Bunny's. 10 minutes left. And I have 5 minutes to wrap this up, so I can at least prepare a little bit for presentation. So Code Vein is something that we've been playing. I came home today. We played a little bit, and the car's definitely gonna help me. I really do believe that. Also next week is I gotta mute all these phones during my presentation because this is ridiculous. Next week, next Wednesday, is the anniversary of my sister's death. That's gonna be tough. But I think for the first time, I'm going to try to go up to the grave and pay my respects and, I don't know, talk a little bit. So we'll see. 1 second. I'm seeing that the live stream is like going down in speed. Oh, it's coming back up. It's coming back up. Nope, it's going back down. Those are some unnecessary things. Okay, it's coming back up, so that's good. I filed not guilty for that traffic ticket that I got. I'm going to have to call because I haven't gotten anything. I filed not guilty last week. So, and I'm probably going to end up paying for it. I'm not going to have a problem with that. I'm like, okay, the police officer told me this. I did this. I have to still pay for it. I understand that. That was my goof up. But if there's a way for you guys to help me out, that'd be great. And the judge, if the judge says, you know, no can do, suck it up, buttercup, I'm like, all right, that's the law. That's what happened. I'm probably gonna call tomorrow because I'm obviously late today to call. Because I haven't heard anything. I haven't got anything in the mail. Also, my friend got a new TV, so she gave me her old one. And this is what my computer monitor now looks like. It is huge. Like my old monitor used to stop right about here, and used to go about as far as here. So like, the fact that this TV is freaking huge makes it potentially easier for me to do, like, I don't know, edit stuff later. Oh, that's horrible. Edit stuff. Oh, shoot. Don't get sick, guys. Don't get sick. Alright, so it might allow me to edit things a little bit easier, a little bit better. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I just need to find time. So yeah, it's awesome to have a bigger TV. Be able to edit things better. It's able to actually produce sound from the monitor itself, the TV itself. So that's awesome. I don't have to always put on headphones to be able to listen to music. I just blast it. So that's cool. Last thing, I actually haven't had much time to do anything for Second Chance Gaming. It's been like 3-4 months since the last episode of Detroit Become Human. I should have already been in the midst of another game by now. I'm slacking and I'm sorry for that. I will try my damnedest in the month of August, maybe September, to actually play another game, because I like the games that I play and I like being able to share that game experience with you guys. And if you guys haven't checked out my Second Chance Gaming channel, check it out. The older stuff is obviously a lot cringier because sometimes the audio is bad or whatever, but I'm getting better. So the better I get with it, the more feedback I get from you guys, the better I learn how to do things. So help me out. Help me help you enjoy my stuff. All right, so that's all I got time for. I definitely need to go. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video next week. Video number 22, week number 35. I want to get 40 by the end of the year. So I might have to double up some videos sometimes, but we'll see how that goes. All right. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace. Oh, and you guys are awesome. All of you guys are awesome. So thank you very much. All right. Later.